Well, I guess, Matthew, you don't kick a score in the first quarter, what do you say at quarter time and even at halftime to get, to set up such a thrilling comeback and an amazing result?
Yeah, it's an interesting one when you get halfway through that second and you haven't hit it. We're getting a lot of things wrong in the first quarter and even start of the second. We weren't bringing the fight. Credit to the Saints, they dominated that part of the game. And so it took us to step up in an area that we've been so good at for half a season now. But we knew our group wouldn't give up. And that was the real positive to come out of it was, we have faith that they're a really young, developing group of players and they'll give right to the end. And they did that tonight, to not have scored to that point and still come out with the result that we did. Super proud of every one of them and our staff who got a lot of things right towards the end. So a really good win and reward for effort. It's been effort all year up to this point. We've got things we're focusing on. We'll keep trying to get better, but proud of a young group tonight.
What were you thinking when Riley just decided to slam that ball in his boot from behind himself?
Well, that's a good question because I won't tell you what I'm really thinking at that point. I thought at that stage we had control of the game. It was getting slightly frustrating as the clock ticked down. We're dominating front of centre. I think we ended up 70 or 80% in that last quarter. It felt like it was only a matter of time before we were able to get our noses in front, but we couldn't quite get there. And the Saints defended well. Riley was in everything. He was fighting, not perfect, but we knew at some stage he'd get an opportunity and to knock it over his head and bounce it through from where he did. It was a great result. I know he enjoyed it. And then our players went into a mode that they'd been practicing now and got wrong the week prior, and they were able to hold on and get a great result.
What does that say, I guess, about Riley's footy IQ at such a young age? There's also his non-preferred foot, and he's able to just instinctively whack it on there, get it over his head, and kick the winning goal.
It says that he's got great football intelligence. When it comes to his preparation, he's one of the best. He's always trying to get better, and even tonight there were a number of contests. I thought he had a great battle with Howard for most of the night. I thought Howard was good in patches, and I thought Riley was good in patches. There's a reason he's drafted so early in the draft. We're lucky to have him in our group, but he's going to keep getting better. That's the part we love about Riley is he knows he's got so much more that improvement in him, and so that's even more exciting than the stuff he does tonight.
What does a result like that do for the group when you obviously weren't playing well in the first quarter and a bit, and you're able to just grind it out and come away with such a great win?
It just improves our belief again. And it's, we've been here, we've beaten some good sides this year and got great belief out of those wins. We know what wins games of footy. At the moment, we're not quite getting that done for 4 quarters. That's the frustrating part for us. And it's an area that we will need to improve on, because to beat the best sides in the competition consistently, you've got to put 4 quarters together. Tonight, to not have scored halfway through the second, we're extremely lucky to come away with a win. But it also comes off the back of the fact that this young group don't give up. There's no white flag, and when we sat down at half time, we felt like we grabbed a tiny bit of momentum back late in the second quarter. And we knew that if we just kept putting our foot on the pedal, that we'd be close or roundabouts towards the end. And sometimes you get the luck towards the end of a game like that, and sometimes you get some things right, which gets you the result. We did both of those tonight.
How, I guess, relieved or happy you are to have finally won a third quarter this year?
To be honest, it means absolutely nothing at the moment. We've now lost the last 2 games. We lost the first quarter, so things are happening. I thought we were good last week with the third quarter. I thought we played a great third quarter, and unfortunately finished the quarter off slowly last week. This week was really a second half. It wasn't just about the third quarter. We knew we had to put a much better product out there in the second half, and we did that. I'm hoping it means you won't ask me about the third quarter again next week.
Is it? I guess on the other thing, because of a second, slow start in the first quarter and maybe some skill errors and some poor decision making, does that start to creep towards becoming a trend? As I think you're saying, it's not a trend yet. Does it almost become a trend now?
Oh, maybe there's a lot of factors in. We had 13 or 14 players that hadn't travelled away and played a night game, which is quite amazing when you look at the group that we're working with at this point, haven't been on an away trip and played at night. So the challenges that come with that are spending a full day on the road, the night prior, we'll stay again tonight. And it's not giving an excuse to any of our players at all. We have to be better than what we were today. But it's an interesting one to look at that dynamic, that learning that you do get from playing and experiencing what it is to work your way through a day when you're not actually at home or with family or in your own bed the night prior. So for our guys to be so disappointing with our start and then to fight back, that's the part we will look at and we'll analyse from this game. Won't be our poor start. We'll learn from that. It will be the way we fought it out at the end of the game and the way we ultimately got the result.
Do you have any, views on the bump from Dave McKay? I think Hunter Clark had a broken jaw. Do you think it'll be a bit rough if he misses out on games for that? It seemed like it'd be a 50-50 contest.
Yeah, it's not really one for me to comment on. But look, we don't want to see anybody get injured like we did in that moment, and we never want to see that. But my initial thought, and I've only seen it live, was that it was a genuine contest. And I won't make any more comment around the contest because I don't think that's fair. I'm a long way from that. I will have a look at it post this presser. But I thought both players were going for the ball. In fact, I thought D-Mac had his hands on the ball. But we hate seeing people get injured. But from a moment, if you talk about a moment in a game and for a senior player to stand up, we hadn't scored at that point. There was 14 minutes to go, I think, or thereabouts, halfway through the quarter. And for that contest, for two guys to go as hard as they did at the footy, and the way D-Mac attacked it, I think we ended up winning contested ball after that period by about plus 23 for the rest of the game. I think we scored 9 goals to 4 maybe for the rest of the game. It was a real key moment in the turnaround where our guys regrouped, put their shields up and went to work. And I was, so from that point of view, it's so good to see a senior player step up for his team.
You think the rest of the senior players got a sniff then, Matt? Because like Rory Laird got a fair bit of attention early and managed to sort of break free in the second half, same as Brodie Smith seemed to get attention. He got going. Like, did that sort of give the rest of the leaders a bit of a sniff after that, do you think?
Yeah, maybe it did. And we haven't spoken about it in detail yet, but I got no doubt when you see a teammate and show accountability to his team and put his body on the line, which both players did. I want to say both our player and the opposition player really went hard at the footy. It gives you belief. And at that point too, we couldn't have played any worse up to that point in the game. We weren't competing. We were out tackled right across the night. But at that point, we were out tackled and we were second to the ball. So the Saints were all over us. So, really key momentum shifting moment that, as you said, Letty had a lot of attention all night. And we were able to work some ways to help him out with that. His teammates stepped up for him, and just a really great turnaround from a young football side.